Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. We are starting a new episode on Guitar Talks, and in this series of episodes, I'm going to be talking to my friends, my guitar friends, and we're going to learn from them how their music journey has been, and hopefully this will be of interest to you. Comments are always welcome. So, without further ado, let me introduce my first guest, Professor Padmanabhan Krishnan from Vellore Institute of Technology. Namaskaram, welcome.
Namaskaram. It's great to get back in touch with you, Suresh, and we have been vibing off and on.
Yes.
And I thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to get across to people and share my experience, which has a large share due to you. Thank you.
Pleasure is all mine and everybody else who's going to be listening to this show. I'm going to, because I'm very close friends with him, his pet name is Paddy. So if it's all right with you, Paddy, I'm going to keep saying Paddy, which is more comfortable, is more friendly. So Paddy has been a guitarist for the last 48 years. In fact, he started playing at the age of 12. We're going to discuss his music journey, his guitar journey. He's played with multiple bands and colleges, culturals. I have had the pleasure of playing with him. And so this interview with him is going to be Kunjan Tamil and English mixed, so that audience from across the country can enjoy and learn from his experiences. So konjam mix irukkum adu, but saying that, we have to stay close to our cultural heritage as well when it comes to our personal music, which we share with the Raja songs and MSV songs and AR Rahman songs. So we'll do both. And then this is going to help the budding guitarists and the senior guitarists as well take some tips from Mr. Paddy. So, Chollinga Paddy, in terms of your personal music journey, can you share how you fell in love with the guitar and who were your early influences?
Yeah, thank you so much. And let me begin that at the age of 12, I was playing a bit of ghatam.
Oh.
You know, my father got me a good mud-based ghatam, and I was also playing bulbul thara.
Wow.
You know, bulbul thara. And at the age of 12, my paternal cousin, that is my Attai's son, Bharadwaj, who is now in Singapore, he's a very good singer. Bharadwaj, he decided to give his guitar to me. and that guitar was getting a bit old, and then he had started pursuing other interests, and then he said, okay, you're playing Bulbul and Gatam, and I hope you get going with the guitar too. And that's how my journey started. And at the age of 12, Ilayaraja was just beginning out. It was a perfect timing. So when I was 12 or 13, Ilayaraja had already started, and his Anakali was already released. And
79, Leah? 79 or 78? Anakali release.
I turned 12 in 1976.
6, okay.
Yeah, I'm 1964, May 11th born, and Ilayaraja's songs were doing the rounds, and then the very first song that I really fell in love with was Naan Pesa Vandem Sollathan Or Vaarthai Illai Unvai Mori. That song.
Oh,
so that was my. And then Uruvadum Nenjam Oru Naal Unnodu. So such songs were kind of really inspiring. And then he had released his Ilamai Ujjaladi. At the same time, I was also looking at MSV songs that were good in guitar content.
Okay.
Like Undan Paatadu Vennila Velayil. And I was also, since I was raised in Kerala, I will tell you the major influences for me are Ilayaraja, MSV, then G. Devarajan, Kerala, Malayali music director, then of course R.D. Burman, and Salil Chaudhary. I like his style a lot. So these are the major influences for me, and this is how I began. Yes.
Beautiful. And who influenced? So you mentioned about your close family members who influenced you on in the early stages, and Raja music. But in terms of guitar itself, was there some influencer early on?
Earlier, no. Like my first guitar influence was my cousin.
Okay.
Bharatnagar.
Okay. So when you were starting out, maybe playing Bulbul Dara helped you with your fingering and getting set. But did you have, what were your biggest challenges when you were starting to learn guitar? If you can share those experiences, that would be good.
Yeah, biggest challenges were that I had tender fingers at the age of 12, and this guitar what Bharat gave me was slightly hard. It was slightly hard, and like initially, though I loved playing all the songs like Chura Liya Hai and then Dammaradam and other songs, it was a bit of a challenge to keep playing for half an hour or 1 hour. So my fingers used to hurt a bit, and then I decided that I'll overcome these things and I'll start playing regularly.
Okay.
So it was not until my 11th or 12th standard that I found a regular master to start playing music regularly and with the method.
So until that time you were self-learning basically?
I was just playing all those half a dozen songs that I knew repeatedly.
Okay.
And I even won a prize on it.
Okay, was it just lead guitar right away or rhythm and lead?
I didn't know much of rhythm initially until I went for a master and started learning Western music regularly. What happened was that I first played some song leads.
Okay. And
later when I found a master, I started learning rhythm and lead and even bass sections.
Okay. So then that led you to the Western music style. So that then you learned formally the Western classical is what you're saying, yeah?
Yes. At the age of 15, it was near the Doraisamy subway in T Nagar. Like now you see only skyscrapers or something. Those days, near the Saptasara musicals, there was a school. It was some Bharatiya school or something, and I learned under late Sri Doraiswamy,
Oh, nice.
who
Okay.
knew mandolin, guitar, and who knew music by heart. And I learned music under him, and I even passed a few grades in Trinity College of Music, London theory exams.
Excellent.
And incidentally, late Sri Doraiswamy is vaguely related to Ilayaraja.
Ah, nice.
He is a distant relative of Ilayaraja, and he was called Dorai by the music folks.
Okay.
And he had released a few albums before passing away.
When I used to talk to you about guitar during college days, you used to tell me about how strong your left hand was, and because of a strong left hand, you chose to have a right-handed guitar. Could you talk about that? Why? Yeah.
Yeah, continuing my lessons with Doraiswamy, and it is better that as youngsters will be watching this video. I first followed the 5 books of elementary guitar practicing and learning chords as well as short leads and bass sections. These books were written by Joseph Estella and Roberts.
Okay.
Joseph Estella and Roberts, there's a 5-volume series. I practiced that. So Joseph Estella and Roberts, I finished 5 books. And I finished up to say lessons, theory lessons. I finished up to say 4 grades of Trinity College of Music, London. And I also started playing Nick Manloff. Nick Manloff is like something, a book that you can take up once you finish these 5 books of Joseph Estella and Roberts. And Nick Manloff, I finished the first book, and then I had done something like partly the second book. And I also started buying Sangeeta Laliti Lahiri and then Indian music as well as Western music books to learn about melodic minor, harmonic minor, various Greek modes, Ionian modes, also other modes and so on. So coming to your question, basically I'm a left-hander. I'm a left-hander. I write with my left and I bowl with my left hand, but I bat with my right hand. I still play cricket off and on. And the last time we won a prize, we lifted the trophy as the IPL champions within V80, within V80 Vellore. It was about 3-4 years back. So I was very active till then. So basically, being a left-hander,
Yes.
I think that it's natural for you to pick with your right hand or say pluck with your right hand and play with your left hand.
Okay.
So like being a left-hander, I did not try to switch the guitar this way. Like I thought that this was a better idea to play. So,
beautiful song.
Uravgal Thoradile.
Okay.
It's an art movie actually, but it's an art movie actually. But Ilayaraja did a beautiful job by doing that. Let's jam.
Yeah, sure.
Let's jam. Yeah.
You take me back to our college days when we used to sit together and play all of these songs, especially after a nice dinner in the mess, and after
Yeah.
that we used to go
You were in the AMS, and then I was in the
AMS.
AMS, and
Yeah. By the way,
we used to.
yeah.
I used to come down from my first floor room to your room,
That's
F27.
That's right. Yeah.
F27 was your room downstairs.
Yeah.
And when we play, I think people who finish dinner, who walk in the roads,
That's right.
used to kind of sometimes stand there and then pick their favorite song and then leave.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay, now.
Yeah. We used, by the way, for viewers, basically, we were in Indian Institute of Science together. So Paddy was doing his PhD while I was doing my undergrad. So it was memorable experience. I learned a lot from you, Paddy. Thanks for that. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, and then it was a wonderful association. I was doing my MS first when you were doing your BTech final year.
That's right. Yeah.
And after that, you went to Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I decided to continue for my PhD under Professor Kishore after my MS.
Right.
Now, like for the missing period between my lessons under Sri Doraiswamy and my other journeys during my undergrad and then the postgraduate times, there were a few milestones. And after I learned under Doraiswamy, I played for a group called Cantos.
Okay.
It was a semi-professional group or a professional group, but you can say it was a professional group. And this group existed from 1981 till I don't know when, because for doing my masters, I later left the group in 1984.
Okay.
Because I had to go to Annamalai University to do my material science. And so these 3 years, first year I was still learning a lot of music under Doraiswamy. I learned under him for nearly 2 years.
Okay.
And in 3 years, I would say that I finished a few books and then I passed one or two exams. And during my second year,
let me interrupt you there. How important is theory? In your opinion, how much is theory? Has theory helped you grow in your guitar profession? Or,
theory is very important, very, very important. Unless otherwise you know enough theory, you can only jam a few songs and then kind of listen to something and then try to reproduce that. You will not get either creative or methodical. In actors also there are method actors, and then there are inspirational actors, and there are emotional actors. So many actors. So in musicians too, there are some musicians who just replay something the moment they listen to it.
Yeah.
It's a talent, no doubt, but you need to kind of put down what you are doing. In ancient days, like they might have mixed something with something with something, and then they might have produced some product. But when they documented, they wouldn't have documented the way that we document it today.
Right.
So, like for any progress or advancement, I think that you need to document whatever you do. And in order to document, I think theory is pretty important.
Very important.
During my undergrad days, it was a pleasure playing with A.R. Rahman, who was just, I was about 17 or 18, and A.R. Rahman was about 11 or 12, and he was called Dilip then, because his father had just passed away, and then he was looking for opportunities to play with various groups. So he joined Cantos, and then we did a couple of shows and then practice sessions.
Oh, nice.
So that was my first milestone, I would say, when I look at it from 2025 May.
Nice.
Because you know that, we all know that A.R. Rahman has gone leaps and bounds in music.
Absolutely.
And after that, when I was in Annamalai University doing my material science, it was a wonderful opportunity to play for the Non-Aligned Movement Youth Festival.
Okay.
Rajiv Gandhi had floated a Non-Aligned Movement Youth Festival, and then we had the South Zone competitions.
Okay.
In South Zone, Annamalai University won the
first prize. Yeah. So in terms of So that sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to see what were your preparations in going on to stage, your first stage show, and your experiences in that. How do you overcome stage fright? What else?
I was a kid with any stage fear, because I used to do mimicry, I used to do skits, mono acting, Then I used to sing, or I used to play bulbul thara or guitar as a kid.
Okay.
So like finally, like after I learned under Sri Doriswamy and later on Sri Doriswamy and later on went to play my first magnum opus show with cantos. I didn't have any stage fear.
Okay.
The only thing is we used to make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
We used to make a lot of mistakes. And
that
then
is one
slowly
thing.
Yeah, we used to have our post-show meetings and then post-mortem meetings, as we call them, and we used to improve after every show.
Oh, that's
I've done
important.
nearly about, I think, about 10 to 15 shows with cantos.
Okay.
And they don't exist now because I think everybody is big and busy. And that was a wonderful experience. And the best experience was, winning the South Zone Online Movement Youth Festival competition in Annamalai University, and then going to Delhi to play under the right under the nose of Rajiv Gandhi. So that was one of my best times. And then after that, I was just playing on my own. And when I joined IIC, you know the rest.
Yeah.
So this piece is the missing link.
Wonderful. So you were like a pro, semi-pro kind of league at that time itself.
Yeah.
So when there is a mistake in lead or something like that on stage, how do you recover from that? What are your suggestions for that you hit a bad note, or and then some people will show it மூஞ்சிலே தெரியும் அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு தப்பான நோட் வாசிச்சிருக்கோன்னு. So how do you overcome that? How do you gloss over that and move on? அது என்ன strategies you used to use?
This is Attan Ennathan, a very old song by the great M.S. Vishwanathan.
Overcome that. How do you gloss over that and move on? Are there என்ன strategies you used to use?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that as I was pretty trained when I went on stage first, that is for the professional shows, where we used to get some tips as money for playing. It was not much. I think like I didn't make too many mistakes. And at times when we made mistakes, we always try to cover it up with the next bar, extra bar, with a smile. Or
just move on. Right.
Well, it goes along. Even when they say that when they recorded Ilanila Porigiradu, each time SPB used to be right, but only in the 13th attempt, I think the guitarist got everything right as per Ilayaraja's expectations. So like it happens, it's a part of the game.
Yeah.
So like I would say that I started my journey with Western music, Western classical, and I used to play a bit of Baroque. I liked Bach, and then I liked playing folk, Western folk, like Vittorio Monti. Vittorio Monti was very good in Hungarian music.
Okay.
So I think I have played a piece for you.
This Hungarian folk dance was a rhapsodical concerto which was composed by Vittorio Monti. The composer's name is Vittorio Monti. It is called a Shardash. It's called a Shardash. And I began my journey with some Western class.
So let's go. Yeah, this is beautiful. In particular, what kind of equipment do you use to produce such a lovely guitar tone? Any suggestions you have for viewers?
Nothing really special. My first I used to play with this US amplifier. You know what I used to bring to Jonestown. You know when we were jamming together. So like when I was in the US at the University of Delaware as a postdoc. So I used to come to your house and then I used to bring my amp and guitar. And this is the same guitar that when I really fallen in love with this guitar because I've been using it since 1998.
Beautiful.
And I've been using this guitar for 27 years. And what you see at the back is a hollow guitar.
Yeah.
Jumbo hollow guitar that I can use as of now.
And
I had a few other guitars that I have disposed of, but I like this guitar a lot, and then I'm using it along with the Crate amplifier.
Great amplifier.
And,
What guitar is this? What make guitar?
This is Dean guitars.
Dean guitars. Okay.
Dean guitar. And this Crate amplifier that I used, it got too old.
Yeah,
So
okay.
about a few years back, I got myself a Black Star UK.
Black Star is
Black Star. And I use these equipment
Okay.
to play.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
So I know that you have multiple musical genre interests, Carnatic being one of them. So do you set different tones for different playing styles?
Yeah. Interestingly, what I do is I don't change the tuning.
Okay.
Whether it's
Standard
Western
tuning.
music, Hindustani or Carnatic or Indian semi-classical or light music, I use the same tuning.
Okay.
For example, this is what I use. So I play in the D.
Okay.
Or
This is Sindhu Bhairavi. It's a very chromatic Janya raga. Actually, the Carnatic scales have quite a few, and the Hindustani scales, quite a few chromatic scales exist, like Todi, Chalanate, Sindhu Bhairavi, and so on. While mentioning the chromatic scales, the Western chromatic scales are also very popular. And one person I would say who has totally popularized chromatic scales and their versatile use is none other than Master Ilayaraja. A big salutation to him for popularizing chromatic.
Now, if you want me to play some light songs,
Sure.
okay, so you can play whatever you want in the guitar in the same tuning. I don't change the tuning.
Okay.
When I play Carnatic or Hindustani, what I do is I play in D.
Okay.
When I play in D, I leave this A, D and A open. So for most of the songs it works, but only for certain songs when you don't use the D and A, that is Sa.
Okay.
Like the sapas are tuning, no, you get it automatically.
Once you use D as your major scale for playing. Okay. Excellent. So, what would you recommend as practice habits for people who are beginning stages, who get frustrated with playing? என்னடா அது ஒன்றுமே ப்ராக்ரஸே வரமாட்டேங்கிறது. What would you like to tell them? How do you inspire them, motivate them to keep at playing, practicing and playing and improving?
Yeah, like first you must have some passion for either wind instruments or string instruments or singing or percussion or whatever it is. I mean, you're ruled by your passion, Like once you have a passion and then the urge to achieve something, you pick up something and then you start playing yourself, but you, as I told you, in order to document or methodize everything, to understand and assimilate better or disseminate better, you need theory.
Okay.
So I would say that go by your inner urge, ask yourself and then find out what you are capable of and then go for it. Well, I mean, I'm getting too old and then 10 years back or 15 years back, I wouldn't have made a single mistake. These days, I lack practice because I'm 60 plus. I lack practice and then if I have to play with youngsters with good practice, I will have to practice double. And I want to find myself of that.
So you would say you can pick up the guitar at any age and start slowly improving, Lingla?
I would say that beyond 20 or 25, things are not that easy.
It's not easy, but it's doable. Lingla.
Even 30, sometimes people start at 30 and then they make it.
Okay.
But I would say that it starts when you are just 5 or 7 or 9 or 12 or 11 or before 15. It's better you start all these things.
Okay. When you start learning, right, the guitar, do you see a progress in step changes in improvement, or more linearly changing, constantly improving?
See, sometimes you have some kind of psychological release, kind of an enlightenment. So like, feel that you reach a stage, but nothing happens without regular practice.
Yeah.
Only with regular practice can we go from level 1 to level 3, level 4, or level 5, and all that. How much ever you may know about music, even these days I can sing well, when I can really imagine music a lot, but to play that in the guitar, like I lack the regular practice. So like I would urge youngsters to practice regularly.
Okay.
Practice regularly, and if you have to get the fingering style properly. For example, what I do is from my own experience. I play any kind of music with the same tuning.
Okay. Yeah.
So what I do is, for Western, I may have this 4-finger style of playing with glides, with staccatos, or say with a different plucking style or whatever it is. But when it comes to playing Indian music, you need to show lots of shrutis, micro shrutis, slides.
Yeah.
Then you need to show lots of you know um, this overdue undertones.
Gamakas.
Yes, gamakas and all that. So, in Indian style of playing, I don't rule out this Western style of fingering. I use a hybrid style of fingering.
So,
For example,
show us the difference between Indian style of fingering and Western style of fingering.
okay. Now, this is Western. Because I am using the first position for the first finger, second, third, and fourth for the other fingers respectively. This is Western. Now, if you have to play this in Carnatic, this is Indian. You are using positions as well as glides and then gamakas.
And then when you are playing Indian, which finger do you select in terms of sliding? How do you determine that?
Any finger,
Any
depending on the urgency to slide or say to glide or say to use shrutis.
Okay.
Alright? This is first and second. So if you're already here, I can glide even with the little finger. It's not an issue. Your little finger needs to be very strong.
Strong.
No, it helps a lot to reach notes first. If you have to reach higher notes first, especially when you are playing Dikshidhar, for example. So, in Dikshidhar songs, normally it goes to 2 octaves, 2.5 octaves also. It goes. So, you got to play a lot, and to reach higher notes, you need to go higher.
Okay. So learning the scales both vertically and horizontally are important. Horizontally more important for Carnatic, vertically for Western. Vertical and horizontal.
Yeah, like what I do is I use Western fingering profusively.
Seri.
And I also use Carnatic glides and all that.
Okay.
But I don't play the song in just 1 or 2 strings like how they play in Veena. That I don't do in guitar because it kind of slows me down.
Correct. Okay.
Reach from here to here. Da, 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 da. Well, if you want to play that, see. Now, if you have to play it, unless otherwise the timing demands it, I don't go for such a journey.
Okay.
It has to be very fast.
Yeah.
Before I reach from here to here, it will be over.
Right.
So like I judge that way.
Or you have to have a compact guitar like how Mandolin Srinivas used to have. Okay. Beautiful. Yeah. So that is that. And then so you talked about Carnatic, you talked about Western music, and then
My journey was first Indian light music next, and then Carnatic.
Okay.
That's how I ended up uploading lots of videos in the YouTube channel, Padmanabhan Krishnan YouTube channel. If you go to Padmanabhan Krishnan BAT YouTube channel, you will see my channel.
I'll put a link. I'll put a link to your YouTube channel on this thing podcast.
That's really good.
And basically, how do you want the youngsters to start if they want to learn Carnatic music? They've been playing some Western music or light music, and they want to try their hand on Carnatic. which ragas would you ask them to pick up initially? And yeah,
There are books for practicing notes, and
when you say
the
books,
great master.
is it typically Carnatic or something like more Western Carnatic mix Madri? That is like comparison between Western scales and Carnatic scales. Would you say, like Mohanam, for instance, would be a nice pentatonic major scale? So you can, if they can play that, then in the style would be different in Carnatic, obviously, but that would be a natural switch.
Yeah, like that will be a good thing. What I would tell youngsters is that first வந்து கேள்வி ஞானம் இருக்கணும்.
Wow.
கேள்வி ஞானம் நல்லா இருக்கணும்.
I see.
கேள்வி ஞானம் நல்லா இருக்கணும். You must be able to distinguish between notes and ragas and then understand gamakas, shrutis, staccatos, or say ஸ்வரபேதம், சாகித்யம் எல்லாம் இருக்கணும். எல்லாம் வந்து அதனுடைய எலிமெண்ட்ஸ் வந்து உள்ள இருக்கணும்.
I see.
அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் வந்து you can actually get into Carnatic music.
So basically, you're saying listen to a lot of singers and
Yeah, listen to a lot of people. All my inspiration was first from home, then IASC, and then few others whom I come across in my journey.
Okay, so your sisters used to sing, yeah? Your sisters.
Yeah, my sisters all are trained. All of them are trained in Carnatic. So like what I do is there are great masters in Carnatic music like Prasanna, and there are many other guitarists also who have started playing in India. But I think that to play Carnatic music in guitar, you need to take up a lot of challenges.
Okay.
It's not that easy.
Okay.
It's not that easy, and then you need to have a different set of mind to play all the types of music in one guitar with one tuning is a challenge.
Okay.
But it's not difficult.
Okay.
I think that if you keep changing tuning, and then if you want to play all of them, and that is the objective, to play all of them, to enjoy the complete gamut of what's there in music. If you have to do that, then you have to learn to play the music in one tuning.
Okay. So yeah, I have experimented with different tunings, and I always found that like you said, fingering positions, remembering those were a little difficult because every time it changes. One good thing about classical tuning is if you hit a wrong note, it's not a wrong note because it's all sapasa or sapasa notes all throughout the string. That's an advantage, but and playing doubles.
There are some musicians who keep a separate tuned guitar for Carnatic music, and one for Western classical. I mean, they're regular players, so like they don't get disturbed by these different tuning levels. For example, I have seen some people play both bass guitar as well as rhythm and lead guitars, because bass guitars require a different tuning. They require a different tuning. So this mindset, like it depends on what you are capable of. Like I don't play regularly these days. So I keep the same tuning to just try out different forms of music just to kind of keep it as a hobby.
Okay.
So it's up to you actually to tune guitars differently, and then keep one for Carnatic, one for Hindustani, and then one for light music, and then one for light music with Indian flavor, or light music with Western flavor and Western guitars and so on. So in that case, like
haunting. Mandram vanda tendral. Super. What else do you want to share with your this thing? I mean, how do you manage your career and your hobby as a guitarist? Uh,
Hobby as a guitarist is nothing much. Like whenever you're free, you pick up the guitar,
Guitar
and
and
then play a bit, try to understand, try to revise what you have done. எனக்கு வந்து எப்படின்னாக்கா I played so much as an youngster. So just to revise what I played earlier, அதுவே வந்து எனக்கு வந்து it's become a big thing. So இப்போ வந்து எப்படின்னாக்கா I'm trying to explore Carnatic music in guitar. So I would say that sometimes when I switch back to Western, I may find it a bit difficult, and then I may require 2 or 3 takes in order to kind of get the exact note to the exact positions.
but that's good
So
that's good that you're sharing your knowledge through your YouTube channel, and that in fact that has also helped me when I start to practice and put that out. It also helps me practice, and doing it 3 or 4 times or multiple times really helps fine tune or stay in touch, like you said, practice every day, stay in touch with the guitar. Yeah.
As far as YouTube is concerned, because I am a late beginner, and then I think you started with YouTube quite early, and you are an inspiration when it comes to YouTube.
It's fun. It's yeah. I mean, it's both it's enriching and rewarding, both for myself as well as for audience. So it's that way I'm happy.
How does it feel, babe? Scorpions.
Oh, nice.
So you just have to change the setting, and with your unique lead playing fingering style, you can play any music you want in the guitar.
Yeah.
The myth about guitar is that it's western, and then it's hep, and then it's girly, and so on. It's not so. Like it's a professional instrument where you can play a 12-string guitar with nylon strings or metal strings, or you can play a 6-string guitar, nylon strings, classical nylon songs. Most of the violin pieces can be played in guitar. There are experts, Spanish experts who can play that. So there's a song you want. You can play English songs or Spanish songs, Carnatic music, and musicians and maestros like Ilayaraja have exposed guitar's versatility. If you see Sadanand or say any of those guitarists play, they have played everything. For example,
தென்றல் வந்து
this is Hamsanadam. See, so you can play anything in the guitar. There's any myth about guitar, if it's not up to our satisfaction, has to be blown to pieces.
Absolutely.
This is a beautiful instrument, and I love being a guitarist.
Excellent.
A hobby. I try to make some time sometimes, and then these days, I'm very much into teaching and research. But at the same time, I ensure that I still keep my music warm.
That keeps you young and fresh and all the time dynamic too. That's
Yeah,
good.
I also at times I also vibe with the students,
Nice.
and at BAT Vellore we have this festivity. Festivity is only for staff and faculty.
Okay, okay.
Students are not allowed. So you can see teachers dancing and then doing skits, doing songs and then doing instrumentals. So I have been a regular there, and then we have been getting prizes every year.
Very good, very good.
So in music, like I have a slot in music, and we also do skits and then other things that keeps us quite young.
Yeah,
So
and that's inspiring.
let's speak a bit about you.
Even now, basically keeping in touch with the guitar and going through, it's incredible. That's what is inspiring for everybody. It's a lifelong journey, you would say, Leah, in terms
Yeah,
of
it's a
in terms of
big
learning. So we'll finish up with one piece that you want to play, and then we are on top of the hour. So first of all, I want to thank you for taking this opportunity to talk to me and talk to everybody who's listening to this channel. And it's wonderful connecting with you after so many years. Of course, we've been in touch, but through this platform, sharing your knowledge, that's very important. And hopefully, people would have gotten some tips from that they can use in their own playing and their own guitar development. So thank you very much, Paddy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And, it's been great all these years. I think we first met in 1988,
Ama.
and 89 you had gone to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Since 88, we have been meeting off and on, and then we have been keeping all our things warm and quite thriving.
Absolutely.
And it's been a great association with you, and then it will continue for ages.
Same here.